I see Oppenheimer.
That was a win. Okay.
What happened?
Yeah.
How did we get through this entire Oscar season with no, I'm just Kent?
I'm just Kent.
I almost did that for an intro on a previous show.
Should have.
Dang it.
Probably should have.
Well,
Hey, BaconBit, by the way.
Yeah, it's a BaconBit.
We are going to be talking about the Oscars that just happened this past week.
Bet you already forgot about him.
Probably, but
Yeah.
no, because some people have a little stock riding on this because we have a giveaway that we'll be announcing the winner at the end. But don't skip because we have things to talk about.
Please listen to us.
We're just going to put it randomly through the episode. So,
Oh, right in the middle of
It's going to be
it.
at the end. It's going to be at the end.
Zach, don't spoil it.
So Joel, how was it being John Cena's body double?
It was, the CGI basically just replaced his head with mine.
Yeah.
But no, that was...
Listen, you just put a visual into my head that I don't care for.
Let's back it up, everybody. So the
Please
96th Academy Awards was just this past Sunday.
Yeah.
And the highlights included... I'm just Ken. I've seen that around a lot in the news
Right.
articles.
Can
the
I
live performance.
chime in as the only member of Baconsale that actually watched it?
Yes, you watched the full thing.
It was the best Oscars in years.
Really?
Not kidding.
They
That
did-
is a low bar to clear, for the record. But it actually was like
And you watched the entire thing.
from the very moment it started. I watched the red carpet footage and everybody running in because they were running late.
Yeah.
And the ceremony starting 5-10 minutes late.
I
I
was going to say, Zach, at least 4% more people watched this one than last year.
Oh, I'm one of them.
For a slight increase of 19.5 million views, which sounds like a lot until you hear what they were doing a couple years back.
Yeah.
But
So-
they are on an upswing there.
I jumped in, so I signed up for YouTube TV right when I'm Just Ken was playing.
Sure.
And then I canceled immediately after the Oscars ended for my free trial because that's how I watch things like broadcast TV style.
Sure. Yep.
Did I miss anything great, Zach? Because I caught most of I'm Just Ken.
This is what I wrote. The sound was bad the whole night. There was lots of issues with the sound. There was jokes made several times regarding my publicist because of Davine Joy Randall. Randolph. She joked about her publicist.
Okay.
They're not supposed to do that apparently. So then everybody started joking about their publicist.
Oh.
John
You're
Cena.
not supposed to joke around about your publicist? Why?
No, apparently not. You're not supposed to thank them.
What? Why?
I don't know. It was the whole thing. John Cena went on stage naked and is totally jacked. That's what I wrote.
Well, he was covered with an envelope
He was covered with an envelope,
because they were marking the 50th anniversary of the Streaker back in the 70s.
and it was
that why?
Yeah, it was David Niven was on stage,
Okay.
and this guy ran up behind him and then ran off the stage. And it's one of those memorable moments of the Oscars because they always talk about it, but also David Niven going, well, I wouldn't be one on stage showing off my shortcomings, but...
played.
And John Cena did it, and that's one of the many reasons John Cena is so much better than The Rock. Because can you picture The Rock doing that? No. I saw the behind the scenes as well, and he is very much not clothed. There's very very little.
He was wearing,
He was wearing something.
He was wearing
It was
something.
covered,
Yeah.
but barely.
They were saying
Yeah.
there were certain things they couldn't show on TV, and so they made sure those things were covered up
Yes,
completely.
and they were. They thanked the stuntmen, but did not give them an Oscar. They just said thank you. So we're getting close.
Okay.
Was it Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt?
Yes.
Because they're in Fall Guy, which
Because they're
is
in
a
Fall
stuntman
Guy,
movie.
which is about
Okay.
stuntmen.
Tie in there.
So they said, thanks to stuntmen. You guys are awesome. We're
Give
not giving
them
you an
awards.
Oscar, though.
It's the year of John Wick 4, and they don't even bother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark,
Yeah.
and the dog clapped for him. That was
By the
great.
way, that was pre-taped.
I know. I have the
The
video.
dog clapped for him. Please explain.
So-
The dog from Anatomy of a Fall
know
attended
What?
the event.
Okay.
You know the dog with the glassy eyes?
Yeah.
They're kind of saying like he has Cillian Murphy eyes.
Yeah.
They had dog paws clapping, and it was this guy underneath the chair with they were fake dog paws.
Okay,
Pre-taped.
okay.
But they played it as a reaction to Robert Downey Jr., and it was hilarious. There was a twins reunion between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Did you see this?
No.
It's
This is
very
worth
funny.
watching. This is worth watching.
Okay, I'll look
it's
for the
one of
clip.
the funnier bits. There was-
It's the best part of The Flash that we didn't see.
Yeah. It's Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was like, cool, twins reunion. And what did they talk about? The fact that they are both Batman villains. And then who did they cut to? Michael Keaton, who is always ready to just sit there and glare as Batman.
He was great.
He's
How did I not see this?
Yeah, you gotta
I
check
was
it out.
watching a bunch
this
of
is
highlights.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So check out the twins reunion. The team from Godzilla -1, they
Yeah.
won an Oscar, and they brought up props that I'm convinced were given to them by Chris Anderson. Because it just seems like something that she would do.
I love it.
The one, the only Chris Anderson?
Yes. She's so giving, and I'm like, I mean, that's
She probably did.
Because they had like a gorilla, not a gorilla, a Godzilla claw.
Godzilla claw
as
on
a
their
heel.
shoe, and then
Yeah.
they all had little Godzilla figures that they walked
so
up with. So they
cute.
had their Oscar and their Godzilla, and they were fumbling with it on stage. Okay, something I really liked about the show, they had a previous winner in all the acting categories present a little speech about each nominee.
Yeah, so like the 5 actors would come out.
There were 5 actors who previously won Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. They came out, and each person gave a little bit of like, oh, this is why this nominee is awesome.
The highlight was Nicolas Cage giving a tribute to Paul Giamatti. And he's talking
whole
about
bonus.
how he just gives it his all, and he starts talking about his glass, the fake eye he wore. He's like, he's so dedicated to the craft.
contact that made him blind.
Made him blind the whole time. He's like, would I wear that? Would I do that for a role? And he's like, heck yes, I would. But you did it, and you're amazing. It was great because it's just Nicolas Cage on stage.
Nick Cage being Nick Cage.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think that format was great, and I want them to do it every year. Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about something at some point.
I watched the monologue after the fact.
Yeah.
0% laughs. And then I watched some of his jokes in between where the celebrities were not fans.
No,
Robert Downey Jr. was very upset because he joked about his past. Emma Stone called him a naughty word to her spouse.
Yeah. He made jokes about how every movie was too long. Basically, the main complaint from people was that they got a guy to host it who doesn't like movies. And he complained that Killers of the Flower Moon was so long that he had to have his mail forwarded to the theater.
Wasn't that Kent's joke?
Yeah, it actually was.
Yeah. Exactly. But he tried to avoid a La La Land repeat audibly on stage, and then almost had a La La Land repeat. Because
we'll get to that when we talk about
Yep.
the Best Picture winner.
Al Pacino was a mess. Pretty efficient ceremony overall.
That was funny. So I was not watching. You two were, and you were messaging each other, and all I saw was, what is going on right now? And I was like, what? What's happening? What's happening? And they're like, Al Pacino. And I'm like, that's not an answer. What's happening?
He just woke up.
The winner of the night is Poor Things, which we'll talk about, and John Mulaney. John Mulaney came out.
I saw the John Mulaney
celebrity.
I saw the John Mulaney bit, and I was like, that
The
was
Field of
really
Dreams story
funny.
is perfect.
That was really funny. Well, because
But you'd be so much better than Kimmel.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. If you hadn't seen it, look it up. John Mulaney introducing the category for sound, where he makes fun of Madam Web, and then goes on to
That's right.
hilariously over-explain Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that doesn't sound funny. It is.
It is.
I don't know why.
That's kind of the joke. Yeah.
For some reason, I was talking about this with my wife. For some reason, when you're explaining a movie, and instead of saying the character, you say the actor's full name. I don't know why it's funnier, but it is.
Yeah.
Especially when it's an obscure actor.
I heard that the In Memoriam, which I did watch.
Yeah.
I watched the In Memoriam, and apparently, they had dancers going on. They had singers.
Interpretive dancing.
They had a lot of
They
things
were
going
the
on,
focus.
and they were blocking kind of what was happening. And then at the end, the Oscars always get in trouble. They always get in
For
trouble
forgetting
for
people.
leaving people out. And I heard, and I saw, after I heard, I went and looked it up. And at the end of, 'cause they show a picture, and I actually thought it was actually
It's a
kind of a
great
nice
tribute.
setup.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they have this circle, and they just put a bunch of names in there.
It's kind of like when you're writing a paper, on you're writing something on line paper, and you're like, oh no, I want to get to the end of that line, and so you kind of have to start scribbling downwards.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they did for the In Memoriam.
Yeah,
and just so they didn't forget people.
I did actually hear that one of them, they had the wrong picture with the wrong name.
Oh.
But yeah. So
Yeah, they always screw up. But then you had Andrea Bocelli and his son singing Ave Maria.
how to
Yeah.
say goodbye.
That's the one. Yep. Not Ave Maria whatsoever.
To say good, which I love that song.
All right, should we move on to who won or lost?
I just want to give a couple quick stats.
Okay.
Not giving it too much anything away, but Oppenheimer won.
Oh, I'm pulling
Zach's
up a
playing
clip.
stuff. Oppenheimer won 7 awards, so they led the pack. Oh, there's the dog clapping. So they won the most awards with 7.
Nice.
Poor Things won 4. The Zone of Interest won 2, and so that's kind of shows the breakdown. And then most everyone else got 1 or none. There were some pretty big shutouts there too.
Right.
I don't think Killers of the Flower Moon did a
No,
single
people
thing.
are really upset. They're like, it's Scorsese.
Scorsese's last 4 films have yielded 27 Oscar nominations and not a single win.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Well, and also they did the I'm Just Ken, which was this big Gentlemen Prefer Blondes reference. Ryan Gosling singing just as Ryan Gosling, not trying to be anything.
Laughing
great.
the entire time.
Yeah,
I heard that was wildly popular. It's a good performance. Slash comes on. That's all great.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people online are like, guys, if you liked that, you should try musical theater.
yeah.
Because that's what it is.
And then I also saw the live performance of Wazaze,
Yeah.
A Song for My People, which, first of all, that song is 6 minutes, and they only gave him 2. Secondly, I watched the performance, and instead of being like the I'm Just Ken, he was in the audience, he was walking around, there were tons of stuff going on. With the, I can't ever say it, Wazaze, the one from Killers of the Flower Moon, it honestly, they were like doing their own thing.
Huddled together.
The lights were kind of low. They weren't performing to the audience. They were just doing a kind of a drum thing to each other,
for sure,
and singing, and just a traditional performance. But it felt so different, and I was just like, "Wow, that's a different kind of performance."
It stood out for sure.
Yeah. Oh yes, and of course, as you know, people get gift bags.
Oh, yeah. I saw.
So the host, Jimmy Kimmel, and those nominated for Academy Awards in Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Actress, and Director categories get these gift bags that have an approximate value of $180,000. I also found out that they kind of get a tax write-off in there because if they don't actually redeem the gift, they don't have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, okay.
And most people don't. But most people apparently don't redeem like the overnight stays that they get. Like I think it's like 2 out of 10.
It's like the Cutco knife thing.
I guess
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But here are a couple of things.
Timeshare
That,
presentation.
if you were one of those nominees or the host, here's what you would find in your gift bag: microneedling with radio frequency treatment.
What?
That sounds like fun.
Okay.
A private sound bath with healer Kate Schofield.
My favorite.
An $1,800 wine fridge.
We could bring that to work.
V-Dog vegan kibble dry dog food, a 24-pound bag. Schwenk portable infrared grill. A $25,000 live show from mentalist Carl Christman, which combines, quote, magic, mind reading, hypnosis, and comedy.
What? That's so
A
awkward.
$25,000 show from a hypnotist. Come on.
You can also get that from Baconsale for $20,000.
Does he just want to hang out with celebrities? He's like, yeah, to make it sound like it's $25,000 worth.
3 nights of exclusive and private use of the Chalet Zermatt Peak property and staff in Switzerland for a party of 10.
I'm into that.
And a Rubik's Cube.
No, what?
The Rubik's Cube Special Retro 50th Anniversary Edition.
I want it.
Yes.
So-
Is that the only thing you want?
Yep, I'm looking it up right now.
I want the hypnosis show.
I want the vegan dried dog kibble.
Yeah, if you could pick one thing from the gift bag.
Anyway, so now let's get into what you, the listener, what you guys did. I just want to give a range here because this kind of helps people figure out where they are on the scale without shaming. I didn't look at names.
Whoa.
The lowest score we had was a 5. The highest was a 19.
Real quick, that Rubik's Cube was $13 on Amazon. So,
Whoa.
big money. Go on, Joel.
Yes. So let's get into the categories, shall we?
Let's go into the categories. We did, we talked about them in a certain order.
Yes.
And they never do them in that order on the show.
No, but so let's order our ballots in. So we're releasing the
they
scores.
should follow our lead.
You should have your
It'd be a better
scores
show.
in your email right now, listener. If you submitted a ballot, we're going to release them when this Bacon Bit airs.
We would give an award to stunts as well.
We would give an award.
We should do the
And
Academy
voice
Pod
actors.
Awards. That's what we should do.
Except for not celebrities.
Anyone else?
What?
Academy Pod Awards?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that happened once.
You're going to have one for casting in a couple years.
All right.
First, we have actress in a supporting role.
So 78% of you, the listener, chose. What did we say it was? Davine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers. Kent, Zach, and I all picked Davine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers, and the winner was Davine Joy from The Holdovers.
And her speech was great and very sweet, and she cried, and she made me cry. And I like her very much.
You cry during the Oscars sometimes. Last year, you cried 3 times.
Fun fact, Jodie Foster
cutie.
got voted for 0% on our poll.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Rude.
I was surprised by that,
They forgot she
Was
acted.
actress.
apparently.
Now we have actor in a supporting role.
Yes, 80% of you, the listener, said Robert Downey Jr. from Oppenheimer was going to win. Kent, Zach, and I all said Robert Downey Jr. from Oppenheimer was going to win.
Woot.
And he won.
Nice.
So there's another plus there for those who chose that. Mark Ruffalo, by the way, 0%. Got no votes.
Good.
From our listener on this one.
He's the worst.
Apparently, he actually acts in
That
this
is
movie.
so rude.
No, he does act in this movie. It's
That's
kind of
good,
nice.
though.
Yeah. We match.
I like how the past 15 years he has not been acting.
Oh, he's phoned it in ever since 13 going on 30.
Oh, which I like.
I like that one.
All right, now we have writing original screenplay.
52% said Anatomy of Fall. 0% said May December. We all three said Anatomy of a Fall, and the winner of original screenplay was Anatomy of a Fall.
My favorite joke about this on Twitter was that somebody showed the clip of the movie where during the trial they say he was playing the PIMP and it's a deeply misogynistic song. And then the rebuttal is, well, it's the instrumental version. And that is now Oscar-winning dialogue.
That's awesome.
Now we have adapted screenplay.
Okay, now this is where we first diverged. 50% of our listeners said American Fiction, and sided with Zack, who said American Fiction.
I made a compelling case.
You did.
You really did.
Even though it wasn't my
Because it's a
pick,
show about writers. It's a movie about writers.
They love themselves.
made a compelling case, and
You did.
I was
And
right.
Oppenheimer, Kent and I picked that. But it went to American Fiction, so Zack got this one correct
the
all
lead.
by himself.
It's funny. I do the Vegas odds entirely, and I want to differ. And this was a year that I had an opinion, and I wanted to differ, and I didn't. I think I could have won if I had my own opinion.
There was one or two where I went, if I wouldn't have gone with just head, if I would have gone with heart, I could have gone
We'll
ahead.
get there.
Now we have visual effects. One of my favorite moments of the night.
45% of the listener chose Godzilla -1.
Wow.
Yeah, so very compelling argument from Kent and Zach, who picked that. I picked the creator, Head Like a Hole, and well, the winner was
The odds were
Godzilla
extremely
-1.
close on that one. I would love to see what the voting looked like, but
Yeah.
Godzilla -1 did win.
Which is great.
Yes,
It's so great.
That's a great win.
Yeah, and we were talking about this at the Bacon Council dinner just recently about how much they were able to do on such a small budget, and
Yeah.
I think that's got to be applaudable.
So true.
I'm okay with this loss.
Next up is sound.
Only 13% of the listener chose the correct answer here, because most of them followed us, Kent, Joel, and Zach, picking Oppenheimer, and the winner, rightfully so, I might
This
add,
is a great win.
is The Zone of Interest.
Without sound, this movie is nothing.
No.
Yeah, it's true.
With it, it is
Horrifying.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. That movie is made by its sound. I'm so glad it won.
This is one of the times when I went, I'm okay with losing this one.
Yes. Now we have music original score.
74% of the listener said Oppenheimer, along with the three of us all saying Oppenheimer, and the winner of original score is Oppenheimer.
And the composer who accepted the award said thanks to his parents for not giving him video games.
And I was mad.
He said thanks for giving me drum machines and guitars and not video games.
Yeah.
And everyone, like Kent, is taking that as offense.
Yeah. Well, my parents didn't give me video games. I had to buy my own Sega Genesis after mowing lawns. Okay. Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
He's listening.
Who is awesome, by the
Yeah,
way.
he is awesome.
And he's really good at his job. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad that Nolan got away from Hans Zimmer. I'll say it. Okay.
Wow.
Also, the
Hot takes.
the existence of original score implies that there should be an adapted score. And
I think that's
so
mostly just like
Yeah,
those
what would that
compilation
be?
albums.
What
yeah,
do you mean?
I saw that online. And so I think there should be an award for best soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Forrest
But then
Gump or
they'd
Clueless.
have to go back to that, right?
Yeah.
Back to the 90s.
Yeah, like Wayne's World.
Because they don't really do that anymore.
Back to Cable Guy?
Cable Guy. That's a good soundtrack. Batman. Any
yeah.
one of the Batman movies,
The
except
final
for
two.
the first one.
The final two.
Oh, yeah, the first one's not a good Prince
Prince
song.
one?
Batman
No
Returns
good.
isn't
No
even
good.
that good.
Nobody knows.
I think
what
we've
we're talking
sidetracked.
about. Now we have short film live action.
Yes. 66% of you said The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar because you believed in us, who told you, all three of us, that The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar should win, and the winner was The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar.
And Wes Anderson did not show up.
Directed by Wes
He
Anderson.
didn't?
Nope.
He wasn't there. He won his first Oscar ever. Wasn't even there.
He wasn't there. Who accepted on his behalf?
The hosts.
Oh, just
as,
they're
is,
here.
as is customary.
Probably Bill Murray or something. You know.
They said Wes couldn't be here, and then I
Did
think
he not arrive? Did he not go because it wasn't in pastel and symmetrical?
I think he was
Yeah,
protesting
in the center.
nothing for Asteroid City,
Oh.
which also came out.
yeah.
So his feature length get nothing.
Yeah,
and his
it's
short
not very
is an
good.
Oscar winner now.
That would be that's just Zach's speculation. Now we have short film animated.
47% of you said Letter to a Pig. Only 31% said War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko.
I didn't say that.
You said Letters to a Pig.
Yeah.
But the winner was the one I picked, which was War is Over, inspired by the music
Well, I'm
of John
not
and
pleased
Yoko.
with that answer
I'm
then.
so mad that one won.
Yeah.
Why?
You love Yoko. That's what it is.
Whoa, you take that back.
I can't.
I
You
have a
chose it.
Beatles Monopoly game.
Maybe she's in there.
No.
Maybe she's Baltic Avenue.
I don't.
we all know what that means.
She's the jail.
She is
you
the
get
jail.
sent to a Yoko concert.
I give the Beatles a hard time, but they are way better than John and Yoko.
Accurate.
True.
I think even Joel admits it. That's real. Now we have documentary short subject.
Kent, Zach, you both said the ABC's of book banning. I said The Last Repair Shop. 53% agree with you two that it should be the ABC's of book banning. Only 23% chose mine, The Last Repair Shop. But you should listen to me more because I won this.
You won that.
I'm
The
glad
Last
you did.
Repair Shop.
I'm glad you did. The girl that they had on stage to accept, she is I believe she's a violin player. Just adorable.
Because it's a musical repair shop.
You have the clear lead right now. I'm not pleased with this.
Zach mentioned that when the Oscars were on. He says, Joel is out to an early lead. And I was
Yeah.
like, don't say that. You're
Yeah,
gonna
jinxes
jinx me.
everything.
Oops. Now we have documentary feature. This is a movie.
All three of us said 20 Days in Mariupol.
Thank you so much.
I like how that's how we pronounce it now. 72% of the listener agreed with us, and the answer was 20 Days in Maripol.
Very interesting speech from the guy who won, and that's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
He did say, was he the one that said, like, I wish this film didn't have to be made?
Yeah. No, he said, I'm the first, this is your first Ukrainian Oscar, and I wish I never would have made this movie.
Yeah.
So,
can I just say it was kind of nice to only have just a little bit of politics in this show.
It was a fairly politically
there were
free?
3 times where politics were mentioned. They were all very annoying, but it was minimal.
it was minimal.
Most of the speeches I saw were thanking parents and children and spouses, and I was
Nothing
like,
about milk this year.
good.
Thank goodness.
Now we have production design.
Me and Zach said Barbie should get the award for production design.
And we're right.
Kent went off left field and said Poor Things.
And I was right.
And the
winner
Academy was
Poor
wrong.
Things, yes.
What did everyone say about that?
67% said Barbie and 26% said Poor Things.
Join me.
No.
In the sun?
Barbie was wrong.
No, listen. Poor Things should have won.
No.
Easily, and it did.
Because of the weird
Barbie,
camera
they built a
angles.
pink house, and they're like, yeah.
A pink neighborhood.
They made toys real.
Yeah, did Poor Things make toys real? No.
I don't want.
Poor things made me
No.
want to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have makeup and hairstyling.
We all said Maestro because that is what the internet told us. But this is an important lesson, kids. The internet lies.
You mean the important lesson is always vote against Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't wear a tie, so I don't think he should have won.
He did not look pleased the entire ceremony.
No, he did not. And he has not looked pleased the entire award season watching somebody else win his awards. However, the best thing that Bradley Cooper did was on Abbott Elementary immediately following the Oscars, where we got to see him actually do the Rocket Raccoon voice, and it's trippy.
Yeah?
I'm not going to lie, because I've never fully believed that Bradley Cooper does the Rocket Raccoon voice on Guardians of the Galaxy, and he does it in person. It's freaked me out. I'm not kidding.
We
He
misled.
may get an Emmy.
We misled 45% of you in thinking it would be Maestro because the winner, which 35% of you picked, was Poor Things. Poor Things got the makeup and hairstyling award.
Another one for Poor Things. Now we have costume design.
Are we worried at this point? You know, it's like Poor Things is winning a lot. It's like, does Oppenheimer have to win?
Zach, I believe, message to the group. You guys, the Academy really likes Poor
production?
Things.
I was definitely worried about this point. I sent you guys the message saying the Academy really likes Poor Things because makeup and hairstyling, production design, and costume design were the 6th, 7th, and 8th awards given, and they all went to
Some
Poor
early
Things.
winners there.
At this point, Oppenheimer had won nothing. So I was terrified that Poor Things was going to go on a run, as I mentioned on the other episode, and let's just see if it did. Now we have international feature film.
Gentlemen, take a moment, pat yourselves on the back, just
All
a
right.
little bit, because the three
little
of
bit of
us,
scratch, too.
the three of us, I'm pretty sure most listener probably hadn't heard of or seen any of these movies,
Right.
But we all presented a strong case that the zone of interest from the United Kingdom should win.
And Poland, I found out. It is a
And
joint.
Poland?
It is a joint between the United Kingdom and Poland.
Oh, okay.
And then 75% of you agreed with us, and it was the winner. Zone of Interest won.
Okay.
International feature film.
I had
And
not
good
seen,
on him.
I had not seen it at that point, and now that I have, I'm really glad it won.
Yeah.
Now we have film editing.
All three of us said Oppenheimer, as did 78% of you, and the winner of film editing was Oppenheimer.
I heard the basically everyone is just like it won because that should have been a 9-hour movie, and it was somehow only 3. Now we have animated feature film.
Fine. You know what? Fine.
What do you mean, fine?
Because this was one where I went, okay, this is Miyazaki's first film in years, maybe his last. This is going to get some big award. Why is everyone saying Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to win this? Why? And Zach and I both went with our heads and said Spider-Man Across the Universe.
Because, so
as
you
did
read
67% of the listener.
Even though you knew it's like 3/5 of a movie.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse is not a full movie.
I didn't want to vote for
the
it.
animation style. So am I the only one that went with heart on that
You
one?
went with The Boy and the Heron, and so did 30% of the listener. And there we go. That is the one that pushed Kent ahead, I believe, of the group, if I remember right.
Oh, really?
Yes. That was a bad moment for me when that Boy and the Heron won. Although I
Are you mad at Spider-Man or are you mad at Miyazaki?
I'm mad at Spider-Man.
Okay.
I'm mad at Spider-Man.
Now we have cinematography.
All three of us said Oppenheimer would win this one, as did 90%
Whoa.
of the listener. And we were all right. Cinematography went to Oppenheimer.
I was very happy when this happened because I was sure that this was going to go to Poor Things. Because that is one of
But they use a fisheye lens.
the
for that
fisheye
film.
lens.
It's not good.
It's not good, but it's unique. I'm glad it went to Oppenheimer. Now we have music original song.
All three of us said, "What was I made for?"
Oh, I fell asleep.
By Billie Eilish. as did 70% of the listener, and we were all correct because it went to What Was I Made
I
For
wish
by
it was
Billie Eilish.
Flamin' Hot song.
They are now, but that got 0% of the vote by the listener, by the way. They didn't vote for The Fire Inside.
Right.
But I found out that Billie Eilish and her brother, Phineas,
Yeah.
are now...
And Ferb.
They are the record holders for most Oscars for the youngest people. They have 2 Oscars now for No Time to Die and for this. That is crazy to me that Billie Eilish is a 2-time Oscar winner.
And just a reminder, the performance that happens at the Oscars has absolutely no bearing on who wins because the winners were locked in hours and hours before.
How were the other musical numbers? We talked about A Song for My People and I'm Just Ken. How was The Fire Inside and It Never Went Away?
Fire Inside, is that the one?
That's the Flamin' Hot Cheetos
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I don't recall that one.
Okay.
Because you got the fire inside.
I don't recall that happening. The other one,
Did they not perform it?
I don't remember.
Huh.
It's triggering nothing in my brain. The other one is a guy at a piano, and I had mentioned that there were sound issues. That was one of them. It was
dang.
difficult to hear.
I like him.
That is the only song, by the way. If
He did a good job.
Yeah.
Is the only one I added to my official playlist at home.
Yeah.
I really like
No,
that one.
he's good. The documentary's quite good. Billie Eilish seemed like she was on something. She was on some hot Cheetos when she was accepting the award.
It is,
Or is she like 12 and she's like, gosh, I can't believe I won.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But and then obviously, I'm Just Ken brought down the house. It was great. All right, now we get into the big 4, starting with actor in a leading role.
Now, was this kind of split? Because we talked about Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy, right?
We all voted for Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, but
And
we made a good case for Paul Giamatti.
We did, but I think, 82% of the
Oh,
listener
wow.
agreed with us that it was going to be Oppenheimer. And in fact, it was.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. And I heard his speech, and I liked it. I mean, he seemed
It was a
very
good speech.
he seemed very humbled and
Yeah.
proud to win this.
This award season, everyone is particularly sensitive to how the award recipient thanks the presenting host or whatever. Everything from the Grammys and Taylor Swift to how Robert Downey Jr. took the Oscar from Ke Huy Quan. People had problems with that.
He took it from.
He
what was
seemed
wrong?
like he snubbed him. He grabbed the award.
He just grabs it, doesn't even make eye contact with him, and just pulls a Tony
because
Stark.
there's 5 people presenting, and so you have to thank all 5.
Cillian Murphy has a moment with every single one of the 5 previous winners, including Tim Robbins, by the way, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, he looked
true.
old.
He looked out into the audience, and you could tell there was just a sense of awe about him.
Yeah.
And then his face changes a little bit, and the internet speculation is that he realized he's going to have to present next year. And
Yeah,
he's
because
mad about that.
he hates people.
No, he'll just,
Total
bring his,
introvert.
he'll just bring his scarecrow mask.
I could
He'll be
see
fine.
him retiring from acting now, being like, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm done. Oh, well, yeah. He's on the top.
Except for he's going to be in 28 years later, everybody.
What?
They're doing 28 years later.
Oh, I'm so in.
How
Now,
long has it been since that movie?
It's been 22 years?
Yeah, because it came out early 2000s.
Yeah.
20 days later.
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
and next up,
We're old.
Next up is the biggest upset of the night. Actress in a
spoiler
leading
alert.
role.
So all 3 of us said Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, as did 76.5% of the
You know who
listener.
else had her as a winner?
Who?
Emma Stone.
Stone.
Yeah.
Did you see her face when she
Yes.
won?
This is probably the speech I watched the most because Emma Stone from Poor Things won,
Right.
which 15% of our listener did vote for
Oh, that's
her.
it? Because it was
Yeah.
pretty split.
It was, but she looked genuinely shocked that she won, and then she got up there and was hyperventilating, and apparently her back of her dress broke.
Right.
And I thought she was going to pass out when I was watching the speech.
She was
making
very
me
gracious about Lily Gladstone, but you could tell
she
that she
said,
was
"I
like,
share
oh,
this
the
with you."
internet hates me right now.
No, I actually think the way she handled it totally took all of the fire off of her. I have not heard any discourse about people being mad at her.
Yeah.
I think that she was a gracious winner.
Yes, I agree.
And I've told my wife this is conspiracy theory, Zach, that her reaction was more I don't want to stand up in a broken dress than it was everyone's going to hate me. But
But it
was a
seems
little bit.
like, okay.
It was a little bit of everyone's going to hate me. And
2-time Oscar winner Emma Stone.
she
by the
did.
way.
She did say that she. I share this with you, Lily, but she recognized all of the other nominees, and I thought was a gracious winner.
Yeah,
very
in
surprised.
retrospect, I think people will say Sandra Huller probably
Sandra
deserved the
Huller.
award
Think so?
for Anatomy of a Fall.
I think they said Hewler in the.
Yeah, same
Huller.
thing.
I'm trying to remember what
So it's because of the umlaut.
Michelle Yeoh said.
I love what Michelle Yeoh said about Sandra Hüller, where it was that she gave a performance that was towed that line perfectly. That we still don't know if she
Yeah,
right.
she did
if
it.
she did it or not.
Now we have directing.
This was the moment where I was holding my breath the entire time.
Me too.
Because I was like...
Me too, but only because I was playing a board game, I think, with my family at that time.
I mean, which is probably better than what we were doing, watching the show.
Who were you worried about?
Oh, Nolan, obviously. Like this.
Well, I mean, like, who was going to take it from him?
Well,
Scorsese?
I was worried. No, it's not Scorsese. I thought
Yorgos
Yorgos Lanthimos,
for Poor Things.
because Poor Things is doing pretty well.
Yes.
And Emma Stone, I think, just won. Just barely.
She had just one.
But then you see Spielberg come out, and I'm like, oh, man, if they have Spielberg hand this off to Nolan.
Oh, that reminds me of a bit.
It's a total win here.
Yes.
But I was still nervous because, Nolan's never won. I'm like, but I don't care if he wins. I still love his movie so much. He's the best modern filmmaker. But he deserves it.
So all three of us picked Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
As did 90% of the listener. And in the end, Christopher Nolan is now an Academy Award winner because he won Best Director.
Yay.
His speech was really awesome, actually, because he loves film, right? And he said, we're only 100 years into movie making. Think about being 100 years into painting or writing. And think about what we're going to do in the future. And the fact that you consider me as part of that 100 years of history is an honor. I was like, I love you.
It was like literally... Like the angel of film Twitter came down and blessed upon Christopher Nolan the perfect thing to say.
It really was. Because he's been getting awards. Same with Cillian Murphy. Same with most of these people. The entire award season. Probably the last 3 months.
I'm glad I wasn't around for like the sequel and reboot period of painting.
Oh, right. The live action adaptation.
Yeah. Just saying.
It's true.
And finally, we have Best Picture.
Yes. So Best Picture was the big presentation at the end. Everything planned out, everything perfect. They had it timed down perfectly. And then they gave the envelope to Al Pacino, who walked on stage.
He got a standing ovation.
He did.
From all of his buddies.
And he, honestly, if I would have just seen a picture of him in passing, I'd be like, some homeless man, some homeless protester outside has made it on the stage.
Did Scent of a Woman ruin him? Yeah. Has he adopted that character ever since?
Yeah.
Has he always been that character?
No, I don't think so. I think in the
acting whole
70s
time.
he was so great. Like he's larger than life. But he was not hoo-wah.
Go watch The Godfather. That's a different person.
Yeah.
It is very much a different person.
Different.
But he gets up there
and this one was he says he was
You
not,
guys watched it. So
he
go
said
ahead.
he was told because he had a paper and he had the envelope and he goes, my eyes or something like that, right? And you could tell he had the nominees on the piece of paper.
Yeah.
But he was told to not read the nominees because Zach had to get clarification from you.
So at the return of every commercial break, there was a presentation done on every nominee. And it was actually
Every Best Picture nominee.
Every Best Picture nominee because there was 10.
Yeah.
And I
American
thought
Fiction, Anatomy of Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, Zone of Interest.
I thought that was very good. But the other thing that's super weird, and I don't know why we're making Al Pacino out to be the bad guy, nobody read the nominees all night. And the nominees are, and it cuts to a video of them pre-recorded
You're right.
having read it. So I don't know why we're
I remember it was
expecting-
Brendan Fraser's voice. So they pre-recorded it, but it was one of the actors on there.
Yeah,
You're right.
Oh, when they did his award, Best
Yeah.
Actor, yeah.
Yeah, so they pre-recorded, except for when they had the actors presenting.
Yeah.
When they had the actors presenting, they were monologuing about them, but everything else was, and the nominees are, and it would play the video.
So he puts the paper behind the envelope. He fumbles with the envelope. He opens it. No one knows what's going on. Is he going to give a bigger lead up? And he mumbles.
My eyes see Oppenheimer.
And then everyone kind of goes, and they probably look at Nolan and they go, wait, did you just win?
Yeah.
It takes
That's
about
kind of what it seemed like.
3 seconds.
And the Oscar for Best Picture goes to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to say.
Did they want another Warren Beatty moment?
They were asking for it.
Where literally also not his fault because he got the wrong envelope.
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel does make a joke after Emma Stone won because that was also Emma Stone who her victory.
But, okay, so this is the transcript of what he said. He said, "Best Picture. I have to go to the envelope for that, and I will. Here it comes. And my eyes see Oppenheimer."
And then everyone goes, people are like, and they're like, oh, yeah.
Well, no, and I've watched this clip so many times trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Cut it in here, right here.
And I have to go to the envelope for that. And I will. Here it comes. And my eyes see Oppenheimer. Yes. Yes. Emma Thomas, Charles Roman.
There you go.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about it is, and you may have heard it there, is the orchestra comes in like, just play, just go with it. And you know some director was like, just go. And then you hear Al Pacino on the mic going, what happened?
He says, what happened?
Yeah, if you watch the clip, it's there. If you listen closely, you hear him go, what happened?
Do you think Nolan is upset? Do you think he's like, I never should have cast you in Insomnia?
Oh, that's right. They have worked together before.
He probably hates him now. He's like, thanks for ruining my glory moment.
It was nigh unto a La La Land Moonlight fumble where it was just like everyone kind of went, oh, that's the winner? Oh, okay, that's the winner. And like you didn't know what to say about that. So Oppenheimer won Best Picture. We all said that, as did 90% of the listener.
Love it.
Now,
very happy about that. Very happy
I'm sure
about
you are.
Nolan getting his due. Nolan? I call him Nolan. And I'm super curious as to what he's going to make next.
That will be
because, some
interesting.
directors, they get their Best Picture and they're like, I'm just going to make whatever. Like, he's already made Tenet. Like, what's his next one going to be?
Didn't he say recently that he likes making big movies and he'll continue to?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Also,
Yes.
Joel, he said he may make The Prisoner. Remember The Prisoner, the TV show I keep talking about from the 60s?
Really?
He may make a movie version.
Do the balloon noise, Kent. Everyone's turned this off because that's the siren to tell everyone who won Among Us this year.
Among Us.
So,
That's us.
well, I'll just go in order here. Zach,
Oh, in order from the top or bottom?
the bottom. Zach, you were down 4 from last year. You only got 15 correct out of 23. Zach/Vegas is what I have.
Zach's the most bottom.
However, I also only got 15 out of 23, which is down 3 from
You guys
last
are the most
year.
bottoms.
Both of us went down. But because of the
Curse you poor things.
because I was the closest to the runtime,
Okay.
technically I'm second place.
Yes.
But the winner, for the first time since 2021, when you got a caveman burger, Kent, is Kent Dunn. And Kent Dunn was 16 out of 3 correct. Oh, one more than us, Zach. One more.
Oh, that's all you need is one.
And so Kent gets to go to Golden Corral.
Do you think it's the
By
Nolan
himself.
thing? Do you think it's the Nolan luck?
No, it was the boy in the hair and luck. It was Miyazaki's luck that you
Yeah.
had on your side.
Guys, this is a group thing. We're going to Golden Corral together.
Zach still hasn't redeemed his 2 previous wins.
Wait until you guys win.
Do you want to come with?
Then we can all go together.
Do you want to give Joel one of your wins?
I'll give you one of my wins.
I'll take it. But now the moment you really have been waiting for, because we had you submit a ballot in which you could win a $50 gift card to your local theater. A lot of people did quite well. In fact, I think I sent you guys the list of everyone who did better than us.
Better than us.
Several
Yes.
people did better.
But both Scott Sprague and Mary Cox got 19 out of 23
Wow.
correct.
Very impressive.
And whenever it gets that close, it comes down to the tiebreaker question,
I like them both.
which is how long is the runtime going to be for the Oscars, the official runtime? Mary said the ceremony would be 189 minutes.
Okay.
Scott said 222 minutes.
Whoa.
And the official runtime, according to Wikipedia, the source of all knowledge and truth, was 203 minutes, which means Mary Cox is this year's winner. Yay, Mary!
Hold on. I'm trying to do math right now, and I can't.
I did the math before. Don't worry. Trust me on this one.
Way to go, Mary.
My eyes see Mary Cox.
Side note, by the way, James Jackson guessed the runtime of 203 minutes right on the nose.
Ooh,
Wow.
nice.
Is
Congratulations.
that shorter than it's been previously?
Yes, actually.
Because they started a little bit later.
So
They
much-
started earlier. They started an hour earlier.
Oh, okay.
So much so that allegedly they had, like, Jimmy Kimmel had to go out and vamp for like 5 minutes.
Is that when he did his dumb
He
thing?
did the thing where he read
Yeah.
the review from a former president and
Yeah.
made a bunch of people
Hilarious.
mad and happy. Anyway, because they had to set up to have all those actors read the
Wow.
nominees. So they actually they started late and ended early.
Yeah, they started late, but still started an hour earlier than before.
Oh yeah, the whole thing was an hour earlier.
You can't
So-
complain about long movies when your entire show is a long movie.
Exactly. But congratulations, Mary. We'll be reaching out
nice.
to you soon, or you can reach out to us because we don't want to spoil it that you won. We want you to hear this first and then reach in. And
Also,
contact us.
who else won? Do you want to say congratulations to me again?
Mary, let us know what where you would like your movie theater coupon or gift card, and we'll get that for you, so you can go see all the movies you want, or at least one of them in a bucket of popcorn.
Like the Dune bucket?
Basically, how much $50?
Do you
will
want
get
to should we get the Dune bucket?
Yeah. But thank you for listening to our Oscar recap. We hope, even if you don't enjoy the Oscars, that you enjoy this recap because we enjoy giving stuff away to you.
Yes, we do.
And we enjoy giving you these recaps so you can sound smarter around the water cooler and people ask you Oscar questions, which they will. And hey, there's an envelope right here on the desk. Shh. My eyes see this is the end of the bacon bit.
Guys, if you liked that, you should try musical theater.